Monday morning, February 16th. Let's draw 3 cards for the energies in play today, and I'm using the Rider-Waite deck today. First card, Judgment reversed. Well, this is a fun one. In its upright position, we see the hidden parts of ourselves, our shadows being called up into consciousness from the subconscious mind, the depths of the psyche. And there is a suggestion of individuation, the final moment before integration. That's in the upright position. Reverse like this, there's something that we're doing to avoid this integration. There's some part of ourselves that we may be disowning and not allowing to participate in our understanding of reality and in our development and our relationship to it. So this card suggests to me that there are parts of yourself that are eager to come forward, to be seen, and not judged, paradoxically, because judgment doesn't necessarily help us. It's good for survival sometimes, but if we apply it to everything in terms of our likes and our dislikes and whether we accept or reject something, we can often judge parts of ourselves unnecessarily, too harshly. This reversal could suggest that there's some part of yourself that you have been unwilling to confront or work with because there's shame attached to that or some kind of prior conditioning. Today might be a day to look at that, to dive deep into the psyche, maybe through meditation or just a stepping back into your higher self and trying to get that view from space and observe yourself with compassion and dispassion without rejection. Welcoming those shadow parts into the fray, into the wholeness of who you are, understanding that they might represent learned behaviors that served you at one time, but that in the present moment have become counterproductive. That doesn't mean we can't sort of love them into health. We don't want to disown our responsibility for anything the shadow side may have contributed to in the past, but that doesn't mean we can't embrace it and understand it, integrate it, and then no longer allow it to run us around. So I think that's what judgment is telling us this morning. Let's see what comes next to unfold this spread. Second card, the devil, and he is upright. Well, a lot of weight in these cards this morning. So this devil is a ridiculous figure. That's the first thing I want to make clear. He is not a figure that we are meant to be intimidated by. He is a representation of ego, out of control, or he's a character who's grown a little bit too impressed with himself. And he thinks he's controlling these two figures at the bottom of the card, but you'll notice that their chains are loose enough that they could slip them off at any time. So again, this kind of points to shadow work, I think. We get caught up in this self-judgment because of the narratives we've been fed, the things we've internalized and ingested. This devil is theatrically scary. These figures could walk out at any time. There is a male and a female polarity implied here. I find it very funny that the male figure has a tail that's on fire, whereas the woman has fruit. So we're sort of hearkening back to the garden in a way. The devil has lit this person's tail on fire, I think. So there's a suggestion that any internal strife or warring with oneself is the result of these ingested narratives, and shadows can often represent things that we're afraid of or intimidated by that we can't look straight in the face because there's some part of us that isn't ready for that. I mean, there's a way in which this devil could actually be like literally lighting a fire under his ass. Like it's time to do this work, to integrate this stuff so that the devil no longer has any psychic presence in your life. I don't mean the devil of the Bible. I don't mean this to evoke the idea that there's an actual figure pulling strings. The devil is simply the unintegrated parts of ourselves that we try to deny. And as a result, if we don't integrate them, they can run us around, they can convince us to engage in behaviors that we think are correct, but that are not actually helpful to the situation or to our own well-being. I think this is a day to notice where that comes into play. And just like the judgment card, it's time to recognize those parts of ourselves so that we can coexist peacefully with them. Once you understand that you contain the things that you're afraid of, that they're already a part of you because they're part of the spectrum of all of creation, then they no longer have any power over you. So that's what this card is asking us to look at. Let's see how the third card closes this all up. And our final card for today gives us the Seven of Pentacles, and it is reversed. We had Seven of Pentacles yesterday, but it was upright yesterday. So this is a little bit of relief from the very dense themes in the first two cards. This tells us that it's time to do our work and perhaps that we're avoiding that. That's what the reversal tells me. And it's inner work for sure. This is about tending to our inner wealth. The pentacles represent life force energy, everything that we've built. It's the energy in the body. It's also the energy of our life in general, just life force. You can tell the way the pentacles grow on these plants that it represents something that the universe naturally gives us in abundance, and it's our choice to do what we will with it. So tending our pentacles, again, that was the theme of yesterday, if you'll recall, means today looking at those darker parts of ourselves, going inside and looking at our inner wealth, including the shadow side, and understanding that that is not something that we were cursed with. We weren't born with some original sin. It's just that we contain the full spectrum. And so navigating that is part of our responsibility so that all of the energies are available to us, but we only choose to use them for good and for productive action and for nurturing that which is ours to nurture. Don't forget, the Bible gave humans dominion over the natural world. That doesn't mean they get to thrash and burn and loot everything. We're required to be responsible custodians of all of these energies. And in order to do that, we need to recognize what we contain so that we can see it outside of ourselves. Going back to that judgment card in the first position. Being unacquainted or deliberately ignorant of your shadows will distort your view of reality. So I think these three cards are asking us to untangle our narratives, to look at our shadows, and give them the place of honor that they deserve, like I said, because they helped us mature, they helped us grow, they gave us challenges to overcome, but they're done now. It's time to no longer let them run us around. So to sum it all up, Judgment says, wake up from the story. The Devil says, notice what you're attached to and notice that those chains are actually quite loose. And the Seven of Pentacles says, stop pretending you don't see it. That's today's read. Like, follow, and share. See you tomorrow.